Hello, my name is Ray Salazar, and this is Morning Real, a podcast where I review films, whether they suck, whether they won an Academy Award or a Razzie or a Spirit, whatever. I review it. You name it, you submit it, I review it. You can catch me reading your submissions at officialmorningreal@gmail.com. And I never thought I would see this movie just because I'm not a big fan of Noah Baumbach. Ever since I saw Squid and the Whale, I was like, nope, not this guy. And I've seen a lot of fucking weird ass movies and shit. I've seen Greenberg, I've seen Francis Ha, which I actually like, Mistress America, which I fucking hated, but it's got its good shit. But overall, not a big fan of this guy. But I never thought I would watch and talk about Marriage Story, also known as the 2019 version of Kramer versus Kramer, without actually being Kramer versus Kramer. But that's how I felt when I saw this film, for the most part, because it deals with marriage, it deals with co parenting, it deals with love and relationships between two people who thought they were going to be together fucking forever, right? Not in this story. Marriage Story came out in 2019, written and directed by Noah Baumbach, starring Scarlett Johansson, Adam Driver, with Laura Dern, who's a fucking badass. If anything, they should have switched roles between her and Scarlett. That's another movie. Alan Alda, Ray Liotta, Julie Haggerty, and Merritt Weber in supporting roles. Dun, dun, dun. Cinematography by Robbie Ryan, edited by Jennifer Lame. Music by Randy Newman, the guy who makes the music for most of the Pixar films, at least from the first 8 or so. Off the top, I want to say how beautifully written this film is. I gotta admit that. You can tell Baumbach has done his homework as far as what divorce is like, what love is like, what parenting is like, and what life is for like creative people, because this story is about two people who are creative. Adam Driver's character named Charlie, he is the head of a theater company and funded by him. Scarlett Johansson plays Nicole. She's an actress. She was in a big, big Hollywood movie. And then nothing happened after that. But it wasn't on purpose, though. There are reasons why as to why she didn't get other roles. Some of it has to do with Charlie. We got Laura Dern as Nora Fanshawe, the lawyer. She plays a fucking good lawyer in this film. Now, I'm not going to tell you what goes on in this film, because that's what the movie is for, right? I don't want to spoil it, but the subject is divorce, the subject is parenting, and what I thought was very interesting as far as what Baumbach wrote is the finances of divorce. Who would have thought that divorce was expensive, especially if you're trying to divorce somebody in California rather than in New York? And I like how areas play a role as far as getting what you want. Seeing this film, me being in a relationship and all, I I wouldn't say I connected to Charlie's character, but I can see who this person is. And I'm not talking like the affairs. I'm just saying in general, like this guy wants to make it. This guy cares about people, cares about his company, and he's willing to do it all. He's willing to be as flexible as he can be for everybody. Nicole is like that as well, but here's the thing that I did not, well, not that I didn't like it, but that's what we kind of realize about Nicole's character. She's the character who doesn't speak up for what she wants. She has every right to have what she wants, but she didn't she didn't do she She could have said something, man. She could have said something. She could have had her ways, but she didn't. You know, she let Charlie run her life in a sense, you know, and it's fucked up. There's no excuse for the fucked up shit that Charlie did. After all, he did cheat on her with somebody from the company. And what's hilarious about that company too is that they're very lax about the whole situation between Nicole and Charlie. And it's kind of weird, but I think that's the thing that Baumbach does, you know. He's a very, as far as his writing is concerned, he likes to, he's very, like, his characters are mellow when it comes to, like, very tense situations, but I'm talking like from a supporting cast standpoint. I mean, if there are main characters, obviously main characters are they're gonna endure it all. You know what I'm saying? These supporting characters, not so much. Hence, supporting character. But even in their supporting role, it's lax. It's very mellow, and I found that a little weird. Personally, I don't really dig that mellowness, but it is somewhat of a comedy. I mean, you're kind of watching theater in a sense. You're watching Broadway in this film. You know, it's engulfed by it. You know, it's sort of the backbone of this film. And I don't know too much about Broadway or theater or anything like that, but what I do know for sure about that is that the acting is far more difficult to go through than in the film because it's all live and it's all in front of an audience and there are no takes, there are no redos. If you fuck up, you fuck up. And I think that's the whole, realizing it right now, that's kind of like the whole point of this film, you know. Charlie fucked up. He fucked up. And by fucking up, he thought he can redo. He thought he can sort of fix this marriage, but sometimes there are just some things that you can't fix when they're broken. And Nicole took that as her only chance to turn her life around, but not only for herself, but like for her kid too, because the kid plays a fucking big role in this film. He's basically the glue, you know. Charlie had to literally move from New York to California, which is something that dreaded of doing, but he fucking did it, and he did it for his kid. Even though he sort of did it for himself, in the end, man, did it for his kid. You gotta commend him on that. Love is weird. The direction is incredible. I mean, my hat's off to Johansson and Driver and even Dern. You know, they're all playing very effective characters, you know, and they make you think. And sometimes you feel like you're rooting for them, you know, when you shouldn't be rooting for them, but you still do, you know, you care about these people, you know, they're going through some tough shit. Whether one of them fucked up and the other one didn't, it's still some fucked up shit. And that's sort of like life, you know. Sometimes life gets fucked up. Sometimes you're going through shit and you don't know what to do. You just gotta pick up your balls and you just gotta endure it and make the best of it in a sense. And you just gotta have faith and things will come. Good things will come. No doubt about that. I think that's the message of the film itself. I mean, realistically, don't fuck up. Like don't cheat on your never cheat on your significant other, man. Try to do what you can do, you know. If you know for sure that this is something that can't be fixed or can't, you know, spark up anymore, then, you know, I guess you got to shut it down or something like that. I mean, you can't really say that when it comes to children. It's a different whole fucking game, you know. Unfortunately, fortunately, whatever, it's a whole different ball game. I'm sure the situations are far more different, the capacities of it all. But yeah, man, I gotta give my hats off to Baumbach. He deserves all the awards that he got for this film as far as writing is concerned. Direction is pretty good too, because some of these scenes, you see these two characters like really go at it, sometimes aggressively and sometimes very civil. And you can tell when somebody's trying to be civil as much as they can when they really want to say what they really want to say to that person, but they hold back. And you're an actor doing that. you're a fucking good actor for mimicking that type of behavior, those type of emotions. There's one scene in particular where Charlie and Nicole, they go at it at Charlie's apartment, and they just say things that they never thought they would ever say to each other, and they did, and it hurts and it's fucked up. And you see that, and scripted or not, one can say it's a little bit exaggerated, but why don't you put yourself in their shoes, as far as an actor and as far as what the actor's trying to achieve for the director, right? It's pretty fucking tense and kind of got me going as far as like rooting for the film in general. I would watch this film again because there hasn't been a film like that in a while where they show marriage like that. But then again, not every marriages are like their marriage, you know. It's all different. This is just one little paint chip from a whole big mural of life and of love. So who's to say that this is like the ideal film? But this film does give representation to women as far as like equality is concerned, power. Not a lot of women get power when it comes to shit like that. Even though when it comes to divorce, you're going to get what you want. And Nicole got what she wanted, at least for the first time in a long time. I'm Ray Salazar. Follow me on Morning Shot Films on IG and YouTube. Rate and review this episode. Rate and review this podcast. This is just my opinion. I'm no fucking expert, but I watch a lot of films. I've written films. I've shot a lot of shit. I'm just always looking at films. I'm always studying them. If I watch a movie once and I love it, I'm going to watch it again for other aspects of it. If I watch it for direction one day, I'll probably watch it again for cinematography, or I'll watch it again the other day for music, whatever. You love a film so much, you're just going to swallow it and regurgitate it and swallow it again. And that's my life, man. And I love it. And I'm never going to not love it. Anyways, thank you. On to the next one.